Hello everyone, I am Callum and welcome to Hammers Unite. Hammers Unite is a channel about West Ham, and in this video I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you about many different stories that's happened in the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to tell you why I started the channel, and just that's it basically. So I started the channel because one, it's not because I love the club, and I've been to many games and I've loved the atmosphere. I've been to the Liverpool FA Cup game at home, which we beat them 2-1. I've also been to many different meetups. I've done a film at West Ham about. That's another quick other video, but also it is because um, one of the YouTubers I watch, Hammer and Talk, he, I met him at the Aston Villa game, at the bowling waiting for Ryan from West Ham Fan TV. He was outside and I was with a group, coming Ryan, um, and I basically saw him and I went up to him and said, "I'm subscribed with the channel." We got talking about the game. He said Jordan Ayew was a threat and he got red card, so he believes about that. He did say to me during our conversation that I should start my own channel because I know what I'm talking about, and I just it was good to have my own channel. Next game that we are on, that's what I'm saying. The next game that I'm going to which is confirmed, is a testimonial, which is Mark Noble testimonial, and that's going to be a completely other video leading up to the testimonial. So the first story that I'm going to be talking about is Nikita Jelavic leaving West Ham to um, go to a Chinese club. One sec, called Beijing Renhe. So I've got to read you the article from BBC News. I don't know if the price is set yet, because I've heard reports it's gone for 9 million, 3 million, or 2 million. But that'll be a separate video, so let's get into it. So the article reads as follows: West Ham striker Nikita Jelavic has joined Chinese second division side Beijing Renhe for about 2 million. So this is what BBC said. The 30-year-old Croatian international has made one Premier League start this season under compatriot Slaven Bilic. He follows Chelsea's Ramirez, who joined James Suni with 25 million last month, while the striker Jackson Martinez joined Zhenghu Evergrande for 31 million. And it goes on to talk about Jackson Martinez, and then it says Jelavic signed for West Ham for 3 million from Hull in August 2015. He has scored only once in the league, despite making 12 appearances on the bench. He previously, before that, played for Everton and Rangers, and it says here that meanwhile, former Everton midfielder Tim Cahill is leaving Chinese football after his contract was terminated by Shanghai Shenhua. So my thoughts on this is, when Jelavic has come on, he's had instant impact into the team, which I saw at the Wolves game where he scored, I think, like 10 minutes after coming on. And this, I think, is a big move for him because he's not going to get first team football for West Ham when you've got Enner Valencia, Jaffa Sacco, and Emenike to play, who are ahead of him in my opinion. Emenike is just joined, so he's probably going to get a little bit of first team football. But Nikita Jelavic, when I've seen him, as I said, he's made an instant impact, and he has been one of our bigger, power subs, as I like to call him. And I think this for him, as I've said, is going to be a big move because he's a really good player for the Chinese league, and now all these Chinese teams are buying players from the English league. I saw a team, an unnamed club from China, make a bid about Paya, which I'm going to go into very soon. And I think that Jelavic is a very good signing for Beijing Renhe because he can give them something that many other players can't, and he's probably the most affordable for about 2 million, but we bought it for 3 million. But I think he has gone for 2 million. I think he is the best player for 2 million that can make a direct sub. So that can, or he can get first team football out in the Chinese second division, and I think that will make him more fitter as a player. And I don't know if he's going to finish his career there, because you know he's 30. Most footballers go on to 30, 32, 33. So I think this will be a good move for him. Next, we will talk about injury news. Let's get into it. So I have an article from Evening Standard about Lanzini, because I'm going to focus more on Lanzini and Sacco for sorry for this episode, because they're hopefully going to come back um, for Blackburn this weekend. So I've forgotten the name of the team with my face. But here I'm going to read the article as I did for Jedivic, and I'm going to speak my thoughts on it, and hopefully we can come to an agreement. But anyway, West Ham midfielder Manuel Lanzini is only a few days away from a first-team return, according to the club head of medical and sports science, Stijn van den Broek. The 22-year-old suffered a thigh injury during the first half of the Hammers' 2-0 victory against Liverpool in early January, and has not featured for Standard Village's side since. And this is a quote from what Van den Broek said to the club's official website. "We have more positive news with the return of Manuel Lanzini and Jaka Saka from long-term injuries. Lanzini is only a few days away before rejoining the team. Saka is not far behind him, but he needs more work because he's been out for around 10 weeks, so he will have a period of extra fitness work under his belt. We hope to see him back in action by the end of the month." So I've actually got a quote here from Sacco, which was released this morning, and I just want to read it to you, and I want you to put in the comments below what you think. This is from Jaka Sacco. Hopefully, oh not hopefully, sorry. Honestly, my recovery is going very well, even though it's been a lot quicker than I thought. I'm in a hurry to come back because I promised to score 20 goals, and at the moment I'm only on 5 in all competitions, so that leaves 15. I'm going to try right until the end to keep to my word, even if the fans say the whole season he only played 20 or so games. I hope in the games that I'm going to play to respect my words. That's very important to me. So what Jaka Sacco has basically said that he wants to score 20 goals by the end of the season. Now personally, I believe he can score 10 goals or more this season because of the current form he's been on, and even though he's been away for so long, he's actually been doing really good. He's been running into the ground, and he's been doing what he can to get goals, and hopefully, and he wants to help the team. And my thoughts on Lanzini is that because Lanzini is such a vital part to the group, to the team, we need him back this weekend, because we know how Blackburn, as we've seen it at Liverpool, we've seen it at Norwich, and we've seen it at Southampton. They've always had 2 men on Payet, and what Lanzini can do, which is a prime example, a really good example of this, is against Liverpool when he got injured. He created space for Payet so Payet can pass to him, and Lanzini tore Liverpool's defence apart. And Liverpool had a very strong team out. They had their first team out, so what matter what he could do to Blackburn, and him and Payet on the same pitch. And for Sacco, and I hope he can come on. Hope he's ready for Blackburn, because I think it's time for a team to get a really big beating from us, and then Blackburn could be the team today, and hopefully we could progress to the 6th round of the FA Cup. And they were 1 game for Wembley, and I don't agree with it because the quarter-final semi-final should be played in the ground, in the team's grounds. But you can't really say anything. We as fans, we can only say it goes so far. Right, so I've got yet again another article about Dimitri Payet's new deal. So I'm gonna get into it and say my thoughts because I've got a lot of things to say about Payet. But anyway, Dimitri Payet has signed a new long-term deal at West Ham, the Barclays Premier League club announced on Thursday evening. The 28-year-old French playmaker was only 7 months into a 5-year deal, having joined from Marseille for 10.75 million in the summer, but had been a reported 38 million target for an unnamed Chinese club. Such has been Payet's impact for the islands, the East London club moved to ensure that he will not easily be lured elsewhere. A club statement on the official website read, West Ham United are delighted to announce that Dimitri Payet has signed a new long-term deal with the club. The outstanding France playmaker, who has made a huge impact in the Claret Blue since arriving from Marseille last summer, is penned a new deal until the summer of 2021, and is delighted to have pledged his long-term future to the club. So my thoughts on this are that Payet being Payet, I know he don't want to leave the club, and there's a link in the description to the video that said that it's like a love affair, and he loves the club, and that he's never had a song about him, and we are the first team to have done that. And when he was back from injury on the first game of the year of 2016, he basically said that before the game when he was like in the changing rooms, he said that he really wanted to, he really wanted to have a good game and join back today. And he said that when he was getting ready to go on, he heard his own song, and he got goosebumps, and he had a tear in his eye, and I think that shows that he really loves us, and that he will spend the rest of his footballing career at West Ham. And I'm not going to get into a debate, but I'm personally a Payet lover, and I think every West Ham fan is, and I know a few other people that support other teams other than West Ham, and they say Payet is better than most of their players, and for people to say that is just magnificent. And I hope Payet can win us the FA Cup, because we are a one-man team, but in my opinion we're not. But people saying we're a one-man team, apparently they say that we're a one-man team, and I don't see. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you want more. I don't know what this video is going to be called yet, but it's probably going to be called something like West Ham News and something like that. But up here you can see the video title, down here you can see the video title. Subscribe if you think it's down there. Comment your thoughts on any story today, and comment your thoughts on what could happen this weekend, which will be in another video. But I think that this has been it. First, the next thing I want to talk about is thank you to Hammer and Talk. Or the next video will be about the Blackburn preview, and that could be a weekly thing because of weekly games. But guys, subscribe, like.